friends, it's UrsulasRevenge, and welcome to a pretty special video. So over the weekend, I hit a milestone on this channel, and that was 22,000 subscribers. What the heck? So first and foremost, thank you so much for subscribing. And if you're new here, welcome. Hi, I love this game. And as of right now, I am pretty much mostly just posting about Star Stable. Now you might be wondering, why 22,000? Why make a milestone video now, of all milestones? And I don't really have a good answer. I had been planning on doing one when I hit 20,000, and then it just kind of got away from me. And then 21 felt weird, and at that point I didn't really want to wait anymore because I felt like I probably should have done one by now. And my last one was at 10,000, and that was like 8 years ago. Basically, a lot of time has passed, and you guys are a totally different audience now. So, in celebration of you guys being here, I thought I would ask if there was some sort of special video that you would like to see, and the majority of you voted for a stable tour, and I've actually never done one of these on my channel. I haven't really talked about any specific horses on my channel. I think, was it last year? All my update videos, or most of my update videos, like probably like 95% of them, were all done on the same horse as part of a challenge. So a lot of the horses that I've gotten the last year, and the horses that I got before I started recording videos on Star Stable, because I was playing for a little bit before I started, you guys might not have ever seen. So today we are just going to go through all of my horses. I'll tell you their stories, I'll tell you their nicknames, and if I can remember like little anecdotes about them, I'll sprinkle those in. And it's going to be a yap session, so feel free to put me on in the background while you log in and collect your light, or do your dailies, or your racing, and your training, and different things if you want to do your homework, whatever it is. Have your lunch, and I'm going to tell you all about my stable. Before we even get to my horses, let's actually talk about my home stable. So this current design is really what I just put up for Halloween because I liked it because it was dark and really cute. I low-key kind of love the black walls with like the black details. Like, they did such a good job with the, what's it called? The Baroque set. I love it so much. But this isn't my typical home stable. This is really just for Halloween. I will put all of the customizations for this one that I'm currently using, though this is what my home stable typically looks like. I love the purple and the green. It's like my two favorite colors. But if you're interested, these are those customizations as well. And if we're going to talk about my horses, I should probably show you my spreadsheet. So I actually got this idea from Coco Rosewater because she shared her spreadsheet for her, like, keeping track of all of her Star Stable horses. I've added like a couple of different columns. I'm not sure if she had all of these, but I added like a personality to each of my horses, and I added a year purchase, not just the date. Plus like a couple of other things just so like I could get some data that I was really curious about. And all of this info spits out into a stats page, which I'm pretty sure is up to date. Every once in a while I have to double check to make sure that when I add something new, it all gets added. But like I generally check to see like what the genders I usually pick for my horses are, the ages, the breakdown of magical versus non-magical. And the one that I'm like really mostly interested in about is how many horses I purchase a year. I kind of go back and forth on whether I have a lot of horses or not. I know there's like people out there with like 300 to 500 horses, which feels like way more than a lot. But as of when I'm recording this, which is Tuesday before the Halloween update, I have 81 horses. And as of week 1 of the Halloween update, it'll probably be 82, but you'll see when I actually buy that horse because it'll probably be in the video. And actually, I didn't update all of this. Wait a minute. Just kidding. I have 82 horses and it's going to be 83. I forgot to add Dez. How did I forget Dez? I think to keep it organized and make sure I don't forget anybody, we're just going to go down the list, oldest to newest. I feel so disorganized. I keep going back and forth with how I want to do this video. I should probably also tell you how I have my stable laid out. I do have all of the home stable upgrades from John, even though this is a John hate club, given how many times I accidentally click on him when I'm trying to do my stable chores. See, now normally I would say don't waste your star coins on it. I did it because, well, really for two reasons. One, I kind of like the way that it looked with having more space. And 2, I just had extra star coins laying around, and I thought I was going to be getting more. So long story short, and this is probably a little bit more of a tea party. I don't know if it was last summer, maybe 2 summers ago. Star Stable created their like creator program thing, and the way that it worked out was if you did an advertisement for them, which is basically just advertising the game, and you uploaded it, you had to like 1, get into the program, 2, be approved to participate in the promotion. If you did upload a video, which I did, and marked it as an ad and everything, you got paid, I think it was like $50 and like 30,000 star coins. So yeah, I had a lot of extra star coins at one point in my life. I thought that the program was going to continue and there would be more opportunities to earn star coins, but that was really the only advertising campaign that they allowed general creators to apply for, and then they disbanded the program, so no more free star coins. So yeah, if I had known that at the time, I probably would not have done my stable upgrade, but you live and you learn. So yes, now I have a big stable. It's just added, what, I think 6 extra stalls? I don't even remember at this point. But anyways, this main hallway here, the first one on the right, is all halflingers. So these are all of the halflingers I have, minus the one Gen 2 one that I have. So we'll introduce you all at some point, but this was one of my goals was to get all of the halflingers. And I think I'm missing like 3? I think I'm missing 3. I'm missing the other magic one, Anthea from Hollowwoods, and I'm missing, I think, 2 standard coats from Fort Pinta. I just didn't get them because I have similar, there's either like a liver chestnut with dapples, dapple pangaray, there's the flaxen chestnut with dapples, or no dapples, or no pangaray, which I think I have 2 of those, and then there's the palomino with and without dapple pangaray, I think. But basically I have at least 1 of each. I have 2 of the flaxen chestnuts because this one was app exclusive, but again, we'll get into that when I talk about my halflingers. Over here, these 3 on the end, at one point, were all of my Sal Frances. I, however, have gotten more since then, so they're just kind of spread out various places. This one is also currently a Sal Frances, just kind of like overfill here, though this is kind of also like one of the random stalls that I swap out every once in a while. This is also one of the stalls that I swap out every once in a while with an active horse that's not a typical main horse that I ride all the time. And honestly, back here is kind of a mess. This used to be all Frisians, and then I just swapped them around, and now there's no rhyme or reason. It's just horses everywhere. Back here, Des was here. I moved Des to the front because I'm actively training Des. I didn't even talk about that stall. But and then Elderflower, who's actually Astri in my RP, because they belong to FLEC. I'm constantly riding her, so she's back here as a normal horse that I ride all the time. The rest of these don't have any rhyme or reason. Now, I don't know if you saw when I was scrolling, but all of my horses except for Desert Rose are fully maxed to 15. I have no other horses to train but Desert Rose, and usually whatever horse I am training ends up in this first stall so that I know that they have to be trained. That's really it. Everybody else is a halflinger except for the horses that need to be trained. Alright, now we can actually go down the list now that I've been talking for like 20 minutes. Starting with the starter horse. This is Ruby Rebel, and Ruby Rebel has had some tack changes throughout the years, though I think it's actually technically only been 2. So Ruby Rebel was my starter horse. I mean, there really isn't all that much to say, although I can tell you about her name. So Ruby Rebel was named this way because Ruby is 1, my birthstone, 2, I thought it was cute, but also there is so I think at the time I was watching Steven Universe, and there is an episode where Ruby is singing a song called Ruby Rider, and she's riding a horse, and that song was stuck in my head because I was like, ooh, horse game, horse western song, Ruby Rider. And I know I could have named her Ruby Rider, but I didn't exactly want to name her Ruby Rider. But now every time I think of Ruby Rebel, I think of Ruby Rider, and the song gets stuck in my head, so thank you for that. So yeah, her color theme is red, obviously. And she's actually has the Druid Rhiannon soul riding saddle, which is cute. I thought that it was kind of fitting with them being a soul horse. They probably should have druidic inspiration and stuff like that. So when they got retrofit the last time, so like last December, I think, I went and like updated her tack so that she could wear some nicer things previously, and I do still have the outfit set. This will probably also be a whole other video talking about my storage, but this was originally her tack set. Also druid symbols, the Western druid saddle. I think that these would cost like star coins at the time. I don't know what I was thinking. I never buy clothes with star coins anymore. But I remember struggling to find a bridle that I thought would go cute with her. And I think this one's not even full stats. Yeah, no. Wait, is any of this tack full stats? No, the saddle pad isn't it. Why is it only star coins? Have they changed that? I'm not going all the way to Valedale to go check, but probably a hill to die on is if it costs star coins, it should be max stat. Whatever, this tack is cuter anyway. I'm probably not going to give the dates for all of the horses, but the day I started this game was May 21st, 2021, so my account's not that old, technically, although it's going to be 5 years old. I've been playing this game for 5 years. I feel like so much has happened. It's like 4.5 now. The next horse that I have, and the first one that I actually bought, is Ayla, the magical and illusion, who I called Opaldon. At the time, I thought that I was going to name all of my horses after, like, gemstones. That was really short-lived. Oh, it's also worth noting that a lot of the horses that I have early on had dedicated tack. So I never untacked my horses. Whenever I made an outfit for them, it stayed their outfit forever. So like even like her ribbon is like the second place Silverglade ribbon. I have in my storage one of every championship ribbon except for the ones that are on horses, in which case I have two, the one that's on the horse and the one that's in storage. I don't know why, but I needed to see them all in storage. I really like this bridle. What bridle is that? Sweet cream. Oh, it's a midsummer bridle. It's cute. I like it a lot. See, like that also becomes the problem, is that I see the stuff that is like on these horses and I want to put them on other horses that I ride more. And for a while, I was buying multiple of things to put on other horses. I don't know if that makes any sense whatsoever, but that's what I did. I keep going back and forth about untacking all of my horses, but sometimes they just have an outfit that's just too perfect. I don't want to change it. Though now I will say I, for the most part, untack my horses. There are a couple that have dedicated sets, but usually, especially if they're wearing like new stuff, I usually untack them. At the same time, so I started playing this game with my friend Appleschloss, or Kit Applecastle in game, Kit Applewood as far as roleplay goes, and at the time she got the Umbra counterpart, so I got Ayla and she got Umbra. The next horse is Runestone, who is a Jorvik Wild. At the time, I think the Jorvik Wild horses were for sale in Valedale, but you had to be, I think, level 13 or level 9. Regardless, me and Apple fought really hard to get to that level so we can unlock these horses, because we saw them when we were just like floored, gagged, loved these horses. And honestly, they're so cute. Yeah, no notes. You guys are adorable. There's, spoiler alert, there's going to be a new coat coming out later on in the Halloween event. It's going to be a permanent coat. I love it. I'm obsessed. I will be getting it. But yeah, Runestone is a name also that I was so excited to use. And then later realized I probably should have saved it for Rune Runner. But no, it's fine. It's too late. Runestone was very early on taken. Runestone's like vibe is kind of like a Jorvik Ranger horse, search and rescue horse. That was kind of like what I had envisioned for her. She's like a little bit of an adventure horse. Actually, I think you're a gelding. Oh no, you're a stallion. Well, anyways, he's kind of like a little bit of an adventure horse. He goes out like on like the Heartwood expedition, which if you guys haven't done your Wildwoods lore books, you should definitely go read them. That's kind of what I had envisioned story-wise for Runestone, even though like most of these horses and their backstories and stuff like that will not end up in my roleplay because it would be like insane to have like 37 horses. But like I just had like little little backstories like in mind for them that I may or may not do anything with. 4, this is Wildfire. I love the North Swedish horse so much. This was, so at the time, this horse was actually in the Valedale home stable. So like if you went to like go do your stable chores, this model and coat color of horse was in the stable. And every time I went to Valedale, I looked at this horse and I said, I want this horse. I need to figure out how to get it. And then it wound up being in Dundle. So not too long after, I was able to unlock Dundle, and literally as soon as I got there, I bought Wildfire. And Wildfire is named after, I think, the CW show. My mom really, really loved the show. I've, I think, only seen like 2 episodes of it. So I really don't even know anything that much about the show, but it was a cute horse name, so I figured, why not? You're very cute and very fluffy, and honestly, I want another. There's 2 other North Swedish horses that I want. If you guys go on sale, it's over for me. Also, not like a max stat girly. What saddle is this? Is this the starter saddle? It is the starter gear saddle. Yeah, your tack stats are not good, but I don't care because you were never going to be a fast horse anyway. You are a trail horse, and I love you for it. God, I love this horse so much. I need to ride around on you. I really do. Timeline wise, I got that one in July 2021. Seriously? The next horse I got is, this was a Lusitano from the Equestrian Festival, or at the time it was open house. I got you on July 21st, 2021. Wow, I got you. Open house was in July? Okay, that's fun to know. This horse also had different tack throughout the ages, but this outfit was picked for Pride, and I just never took it off of you. But honestly, I think I might, so I can use this outfit on another horse. I was looking for this bridle. I knew I had it on somebody. I just didn't know who. Did I say your name? It's Storm Court. Briefly went back to gemstone names for a little while. I still really like this coat, and I do remember fondly getting this horse. I just also remember it not being a horse that I liked training all that much, which is why you're my only Lusitano. Which is kind of like unfortunate because like heritage wise, I really like the Lusitano because my family's from Portugal and I feel like I should like the Portuguese horse. I unfortunately just don't. But you are an older Gen 3, so maybe if you get the Andalusian treatment, maybe we'll reconsider getting some Lusitanos. I literally had to think about which horse this was. Okay, so this is Dragon Soul. I really like her tack. It gets to stay though because I'm probably eventually gonna ride you again because listen, this is a hot take. I really like the Jorvik Frisians. Don't nod no. What? I really like the Jorvik Frisians. I really don't think that they're as bad as people say. They are one of the horses that I really want to do like another like are they worth it video on. Just because they had so much controversy where a lot of people just don't think that they look enough like Frisians. They had some animation changes, which I'm also still trying to research. Somebody mentioned that there were animation changes for the Akolteke, and I have not found evidence of that yet, but honestly, I also haven't even looked, so I have to look into that too. But I really do need to look into like what the animation changes for the Jorvik Frisian were, because I see a lot about they were better or worse before animations changed, and I just don't know what actually changed. I need to know for myself. But you'll see that I have a lot of Jorvik Frisians. This was the very first one I got because this was me and Apple's club horse. Even though the club was only the 2 of us, we still wanted to like have a club horse because it's fun. So we have Dragon Soul, who was our first club horse, and they have dragon names. Apple's is Dragon Heart and mine was Dragon Soul, because we were the dragonflies. And we have Grey Willow. I remember getting this horse and just like really loving riding her. I love her coat. This was the first horse that like I deemed was like a senior. I really like her a lot. I think she's so cute. The extremely low headset is upsetting, unfortunately. But I remember just really loving this coat when I got her. This was one of the horses that I rode around on a lot when I got her. we kind of also hit a point where I had so many horses and it was just hard to ride them all the time. I'm trying to remember if there were any other horses that came out between me joining the game and the Percheron. I feel like there had to have been. I don't think at the time I really cared about horses releasing because I really didn't know to care that there were horses releasing. It's like I'm looking down the list. There was Opal Dawn, but at the time I know that when we read the news about that magic horse, it I think mentioned that it was coming back, because I also remember when me and Apple first started, there was no, like, the magic horses weren't there the week we started. They came like maybe like a week or two later. And we had looked on like the wiki to see what magic horses there were, and we were saying that we were really excited about Ayla and Umbra, and those happened to be the first two horses that came out after we joined the game, or at least were re-released after we came back to the game. So we were really excited that they were the first ones we were able to get. We didn't realize how rare it was for magic horses to come back into rotation, but either way, we got really lucky that they did. And now I'm trying to think, between May 2021 to September 2021, were there any other horse releases? And honestly, I just don't know off the top of my head what horse was released before the Percheron. I remember Pumpkin Spice. I remember the Percherons coming out. I remember being really excited about the Percherons. And I also remember the only thing that really bothered me about the Percheron is that their landing animation lands before the sound of like the hoofs hitting the ground plays. That was the only like gripe about the Percheron. I know that this is another horse that people really don't like, and I don't think that it's deserved. I think that you guys have beautiful coats. You're really stocky. You're really pretty. I love this little bit of mane that comes out the side. I think it's so cute. Are they the perfect horse? No. But I mean, there's almost no perfect horses in Star Stable because it's a video game, and video game horses are notoriously bad. But I mean, even saying that, the Percheron is not a bad horse. Definitely not as bad as other people say, in my opinion. But I mean, I also didn't play this game really with Gen 2 horses, so when I think of a bad horse, and this is gonna probably be so controversial, when I think of a bad horse, I think of the Gen 2 and Gen 1 horses. I'm sorry, they don't look like horses, they look like cartoon characters. These ones actually look more like horses. Like, look, they got defined chest muscles and textures. Like, huh, what? Seasoned riders could never. Anyways. Pumpkin Spice was not going to be her original name. Originally, this was going to be Pinecone, but Pinecone wasn't an option. So I was like, okay, how about Maple Leaf? But then Maple wasn't an option. I think it is an option now, or maybe Leaf wasn't an option. I can't remember. Either way, Maple wasn't an option. Pinecone wasn't an option. So I said, F it, you're Pumpkin Spice. And that's how Pumpkin Spice got her name. The 9th horse I got was Twin Flame. Twin Flame is an American paint horse. I really like this one because it reminded me of kind of like a skull. I think this one's just so cute. The paint horses are just so well done. They're so cute. Look, I even recently got another paint horse. They're so cute. But the bald face reminded me of a skull. And this was around the time that I discovered the Miscreants had music and that Star Stable had like an alternative band. And I was kind of obsessed. Still am obsessed. And they have a song called Twin Flame. So I wanted to name this horse after a Miscreant song. And this was before I actually learned that there was a Miscreant's horse. This was, I thought, the closest I could get to a Miscreant's horse. So this is Twin Flame. I can't believe this was only my 10th horse. This horse is it's like 3 years old now. They came out in like 2021. I mean, I guess this account is much older than I thought it was. But it's 4 years old now. For Star Stable's 10th birthday, they gave out a free horse for the people who like were playing at the time. So if you were playing during Star Stable's 10th birthday and you logged in during the birthday event, you were able to claim this soul steed for free. And was this horse designed by the community? I can't remember if this was one that was designed by the community. If it was before I was actually even able to give like input. I didn't know about it at the time. I only found out later that they were doing like fan-made horses. I remember that there was, I think, a vote to figure out if it was going to be a Jorvik wild horse, I think. And honestly, I'm glad that they chose the Jorvik wild horse. At the time, I was kind of like a little over Jorvik wild horses, but I mean, they are the most like iconic Jorvik exclusive horse, which would make sense for the 10th birthday. I mean, like the only other one could be like the Jorvik Warmblood, but Jorvik Warmblood versus Jorvik wild horse, the wild horse is just a much more detailed horse. So I think that they did a nice choice picking this one. Are you also dressed for Pride? You look like you might be. I really like that cord. That cord is so cute. But yeah, I named this one Soul Rider. I think I also got this horse on my side account, Shiloh, and I want to say that I named that one Dream Fighter, because it's like Soul Riders, Dream Fighters, when the world's asleep you save them all. It's like the song by Lisa Peterson. I want to say I named that one Dream Fighter, but I really cannot remember. Quicksilver is the next one. This is my first non-Gen 3 horse. It was a Pentavian that I got exclusively for racing and doing championships, because I saw at the time everybody else had Pentavians, because they had like a animation glitch that made them slightly faster, so everybody was riding Pentavians. They have since gotten rid of that bug, and actually, in fact, now I believe the current fastest horse is the Orphic Wild Horse. People say also the Gen 2 Mustang, which you can no longer get, but if you have, it's fine. It's also fast. However, the Orphic Wild Horse is actually the best horse to currently use for championships, and it does outrank the Gen 2 Morgan. So, we're getting into my first Halloween horses. This was the first time I was part of a Halloween event, and I remember seeing this horse around before the event, and I knew I had to have him. As soon as I was able to, I needed him. So this is Grim. Grim is the Tombhoof Halloween magic horse. There really isn't that much to say about him. I think he's the first horse that I got that I didn't use a second name, and I remember that being a big deal for me. I literally got no other horses until the winter event. This is Tuxedo Mask. Tuxedo Mask actually had... Oh my god, why is it so hard to say your name? Tuxedo Mask has a little bit of a story. As soon as I found out that there was a rose saddle at the gardeners, if you like became admired with them, I knew I needed a horse named Tuxedo Mask because of, like, obvious reasons. Sailor Moon, Tuxedo Mask, he throws the rose and it's like, you didn't do anything, and he just, yeah, you know the memes. It was only made a more of a requirement when I found out Tuxedo Mask actually was a name that you could use. I low-key just like took my time trying to find the perfect horse to become Tuxedo Mask. And after all of that, I never actually even put the rose saddle on you. We need another like red and black like rose set or something that'll look good on you. But I think that this like particular magic horse, while it's not like the most exciting, and I think your theming is a little too abstract, you were flashy enough to be Tuxedo Mask, and I don't think I could have found any other horse to be more perfect aside from just the all black Arabian. But if you go into your non-magic form, I think that's like almost, yeah, like you in your non-magic form is also perfect. You're delightful. But yeah, you're flashy enough. And at that point, I needed a horse to be Usagi or Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon is actually not a name option. It's actually going to be a few years down the line until I finally get my Sailor Moon, but we'll talk about her later. Peachy! Peachy's an Appaloosa. I loved this coat when I saw it. I think a lot of people say it kind of looks like an illness, like a skin disease. But you're cute. I like you a lot. I like your little splotches. You're adorable, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Peachy was like the first horse that I got that I thought could be like my soul horse that wasn't my soul steed. Yeah, this was the first one that I was like, you could be my main horse. And you are still very cute, but literally not even too much longer the Halflingers came out. So this was my first horse of 2022 though. So all the other horses I got previously were from the first year I played Star Stable. This is Moonshine. You are a starter pony. I don't remember why I wanted a starter pony. I think I just saw like your little star being a moon, and I was like, I need a horse that has a moon name. And I was asking my friends, and my friend Rob actually said, oh, you should call him Moonshine because it would be funny. And I was like, sold, I'm in. So that's why Moonshine has his name, but I genuinely don't remember why I wanted a Jorvik starter pony. I mean, you're cute enough, and you do have like that like jumping animation glitch where you just like rotate in the air while you're jumping, so it makes you pretty good for the pony champ. But I can't say that you're a horse that I would ride around consistently. You also have like the Old Deuce Farm like leg wrap and saddle pad, which is just very cute and just a good set, and I really wish that they added more items to that tack set, but I guess it's technically the same as like the Rex Stamper stuff, so they really didn't need to. I just really like those colors. The next horse is a Knobstrupper, which is named Silver Song. You guys, the Nab is really underrated. I need you guys to like actually go to Crescent Moon Village, go look at the Nabs. There's like 8 colors of them and they're all beautiful. Their coats are stunning. I love this horse so much. I got this horse because my friend Apple, her like soul horse is also a Nab, and I wanted one. I needed to know why she loved it so much, and honestly, I can see it. I love this horse. It's a beautiful, beautiful horse. This horse has a backstory, and the story is this horse belongs to Detective Arya, who is a noir detective, which was the first technically Star Stable roleplay I did. I didn't realize it was a roleplay at the time. I was just making a funny story. It was like a vehicle to do Star Stable lore and theory videos, but still make it like cinematic and fun. That idea came to me literally at like 1 a.m. I thought it would be so funny to do like a detective noir in Star Stable. I think I was watching Veronica Mars like as a rewatch because that's one of my favorite shows. I've watched it multiple times. Veronica Mars is basically a modern noir detective story, but like not noir. Just the way that the storytelling is, where it's like the narration is what you would determine a detective noir to be. So I really wanted to do a story like that, and Silver Song was the horse that belonged to the detective. So I love this horse so much. Fond memories, and I didn't realize that the last time I did one of those videos was like 2022 or 2023. I can't remember. It's been a while. That was going to be one of the other possible videos to do instead of this one, but I'm having fun with this. I hope you guys are too. It's always on the table to continue that series, by the way. You just let me know. It's, I think, one of those cases where I think I'm funny, but maybe other people don't. Next, we have a magic horse. This is Bramblebee, the Birch Marwari. I believe I got this horse when it came out because it was still doing magic horse rotations. I really like this tack set. This is like a very unique, like this is a mix and match set, which is something that I really like doing, though I don't know how sold I am on that bridle going with that saddle. I might pick a different bridle for you, but the rest of the tack is like perfection. I love it so much. I love this saddle. The saddle looks so good on you. Do I have a story for this one? I really like the name Bramble. Bramble in my D&D world is, my character has a bear named Ivy. Ivy had a brother named Bramble. That's where I got the name Bramble, and I did it like Bramblebee, like Bumblebee, but I just, like, her name is actually Bramblebee, like a bramble. I just thought the bee addition was really cute. This one's Fairy Dust. I got you again because of, like, you know, training racehorses for championships. Yeah, this was just a coat color that I didn't realize that I liked, and I thought it would be cute. And I wanted to name her Pixie Dust, but Pixie's not an option. So Fairy Dust was my closest thing, but it kind of means something else, and I didn't really want that. So I promise you're supposed to be Pixie Dust, like Tinkerbell. Name was not a good selection. Wild Heart. I love this horse so much. This is the, I think it is still event exclusive, ETB, for the Equestrian Festival. She got a little heart on her butt, which is why she's named Wild Hearts. Also because of Sayonara Wild Hearts, which is a game that I adore. It's like a platformer. If you haven't played it, it's amazing. The music is fantastic. It's a technically rhythm-based platformer. It's so good. So good. You have to play it. But that is why you are named Wild Heart, and that is also why my, like, side roleplay, not for this character, but, like, my side rescue group is called Wild Heart Safety Network, was because of Wild Heart. However, even though I named it after Wild Heart, I didn't wind up using Wild Heart as the owner's main horse. I used a different horse called Strawberry, which is a later down the line horse, instead of Wild Heart. And I think it was just because I was really inspired by the Tennessee Walker. that's the literally only reason why. But you named the organization, you just aren't the face horse for it. Jelly Bean. Jelly Bean. Okay, so this is the 20th horse that I got on Star Stable is Jelly Bean, and Jelly Bean is my absolute favorite horse in the entire game. Jelly Bean is my soul horse for all intents and purposes of my character, Arya, and for me, I love this horse so much. She's my favorite. I can't. I love the halflingers so much. They're so good. They're so good, and I need you to be able to wear all the attacks so that I can just put whatever I want on you, and you're just gonna look so freaking cute. I love the halflingers. I don't know if you guys could tell, but I just really love the halflingers. And Jelly Bean in particular. So Jelly Bean was named Jelly Bean because of these dapples on her tummy. Okay. If I am remembering correctly, this was, the halflingers were released around the time that I first learned that Star Stable spoilers were a thing. I think we had seen them before. We'd watched a lot of when I say me, I mean me and Apple had seen a lot of CC creations, but we weren't regularly watching for spoilers. And I remember, I think that was the point where I was like, oh, we need to be looking at these spoilers more often, because I remember seeing the spoilers for when the halflingers were coming out and looking at all the coat colors, and I'm sure we had done that previously for other horses, but I just vividly remember seeing the CC Creations video for the halflingers and like inspecting all of the coat colors and being like, well, they're all really similar because they're mostly flaxen chestnuts or palominos. And then seeing this one in particular and being like, this is the horse that I need to get. Look at the dapples. They're so precious. They look like jelly beans. And I love her. I love her so much. Like, favorite coat color, favorite horse. This horse has altered my brain chemistry. I love halflingers so much. And technically, this is the first horse on the list that has a show name, even though the show name was only recently determined. So, Jelly Bean's show name in my roleplay is WH Sour Patch Sweetheart. Originally when I got her, her nickname was Beanie, but I never really call her Beanie. It is a cute name. I could still start incorporating Beanie as a nickname. But when I was doing scripts for Runaways, I always referred to Jelly Bean as JB, which is why that nickname kind of stuck. So in some of my posts and like some of my videos, I refer to Jelly Bean as JB instead of Beanie or Jelly Bean. It's not the cutest nickname, but JB just stuck. And so that's her nickname. June 1st, 2022 is the day that my life changed, apparently. Honestly, after Jelly Bean, it was kind of like a hard act to follow. Unfortunately, Glowstone, you were the follow-up. And you are also, unfortunately, the horse that made me realize that the Clydesdales are kind of awful. It's not even that they're awful, it's just like their textures are beautiful. I love the way that they look. They look so soft, they look so sweet, they look so cute. They are unfortunately a disaster to ride. I just really don't like riding the Clydesdale. I think when I did my poll, because honestly, I even voted in my poll for like the best and worst horses, Clydesdale was actually the horse that I put as the worst horse. I don't know if that's a shocker to anybody, but I just really hated training the Clydesdale, unfortunately. You're very cute. You are also another horse that I thought about after the fact that you should have been named a runestone because you are literally a runestone. I unfortunately did not know that you existed at the time though. So you have at least like, you know, the level 0 Pandoric birthday outfit stuff that I wasn't going to put on any other horse. So you get to keep it. I might take that pet though at some point, but for now you get to keep it. Halloween horses are back. When did I get you? October 12th, 2022. This is Nightshade. For obvious reasons, Nightshade is a mushroom and you are a mushroom horse. I love this horse. I think it's so cute. Honestly, I also kind of forget that you're a fjord. You know what? Your eyes are also reminding me of like season 3 of The Owl House. I mean, I don't know if it's spoilers at this point, but I'll just drop a no context picture here. Your eyes are giving me those vibes, and honestly, that kind of makes me, I mean, if you understand the context, don't take this out of context. It makes me love you more, not because of what it reminds me of, but because it's Owl House related, and I love the Owl House. We're actually going to talk a little bit more about my love of the Owl House in the 2023 horses. 2023 horses? 2024 horses. 2023. I remember struggling trying to find tack for you, because the green saddle does not match the saddlebag, even though they're from the same set. We got another favorite horse. This is Sequoia. Sequoia is my Rune Runner. So after... When did I get my Rune Runner? I got my Rune Runner December 9th, 2022. And this was around the time that I started making YouTube videos, because one of the reasons why it actually even took me that long to get my Rune Runner, I was like one quest away from getting Rune Runner for, I want to say, maybe like a month or two, because I wanted to document actually getting my Rune Runner, and I wasn't making videos at the time. And so getting Rune Runner is what made me be like, okay, I need to start my YouTube channel back up again. I need to document my adventures on Jorvik, because if I'm never going to get another Rune Runner. I might eventually get one on Shiloh, but that's going to be years at this point. And I wanted to have like a recorded memory of actually getting my Rune Runner. And the only way I could think to do that was making a YouTube video. And in order to do that, I needed to actually come back and start making regular YouTube videos. I probably didn't have to make regular YouTube videos. I could have just put up the one video, but I don't do anything halfway. I start something and then I never stop, because I made a commitment for one video, and now it's been like 5 years. But anyways, I think I've changed Sequoia's tack a couple of times. I really love what I've landed on, though. I love this set. I love you, Sequoia. You're so cute. So how long did it actually take me to get Rune Runner? If I started, probably a year and a half from like account start to doing all the quests, playing the game, and like leveling up with Rhiannon. Probably minus a month or two, because I just, like, I was literally one quest away. It was one quest away. I just was waiting for arbitrary reasons. God, I love the Rune Runner. It's so cute. And I love that it's a North Swedish. We're not even halfway. I had this horse in the, what was the set called? Bear Hug. I had that horse in the Bear Hug set for literally the longest time. I only took them out of it recently because I wanted to use that set on other horses. This is Honey Bear, literally named because of the Bear Hug set. I wasn't sure which horse would look best in the tack at the time. I thought it was going to be this one, so I named you Honey Bear. And then I realized that there was a Flaxen Chestnut that probably would have looked better. You are cute, regardless. I think that you look cute. I think that and I probably should clarify, I think that the Pasafinos look cute. The reason why I got this horse was because at the time, they had recently come out, but I hadn't, like, decided to get one yet. Every time I saw a person riding around on a horse, I was like, oh my god, that horse is so cute. What is it? It was always the Pasafino. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I gotta get a Pasafino at some point. So I got a Pasafino at some point, and I hated training it. I don't know why, like, as realistic as it is, maybe it was because at the time it was the only horse that was hyper realistic like this one. And that for some reason was off-putting to me. Now that there are more horses just as realistic, I think I like the Pasafino more. But at the time I just really didn't like training it, and I don't know if it's because it was too shiny or if I just wasn't used to it. I don't know. Maybe I need to get another Pasafino and try it. But I had gotten I think 3 Pasafinos total, and I remember just not being the biggest fan, so I don't know if I want to fall for that trap again. You're very cute. Every time I look at you, I think you're adorable, and you're just so, you have the sweetest little face. But I know I just don't like training them, but maybe I will try again. I don't know. Should I try again? You tell me. All right, this is Fern Lily, my only second Jorvik Frisian. And unfortunately, I cannot tell you the story about how and why I got them. I'm going to be cryptic for this one. It's fine. But just know that I love this horse and their tack, and you were 100% an impulse purchase. I do not regret. You, on the other hand, are an impulse purchase I do regret, and this is Wallflower. You're a Morgan. I remember. Okay. This one's got stories. At the time, I think this was like when I started really getting into a rhythm of making update videos. This was one of the first horses that I was covering as part of an update video, and I remember watching other people's update videos at the time and just feeling like I had to buy the horse that came out in the update so I could talk about it and review it and tell you whether or not you should get it. I, at the time, did not really know enough about whether or not a horse was worth getting. Like, yeah, I had been playing for like a little under 2 years at that point. Maybe a little over 2 years. A little under 2 years. Was not an equestrian, am not an equestrian, and even now, 3 additional years later, I still don't think I'm qualified to tell you whether or not a horse truly is worth getting in Star Stable. Maybe I'm a little bit more qualified now, but I'm certainly not qualified to tell you if it's realistic or not. And I kind of wish I just went with my gut with this horse, which was to not get this horse, because every time I looked at the Morgans in the spoilers in game, their eyes just look too far apart. They remind me of E.T. Little alien-like. And sure, maybe that's what the Morgans actually look like. I just don't think I like Morgans, to be honest with you. And I really shouldn't have gotten this horse. The only reason why I got this horse, well, I can't say the only reason. The 2 reasons why I got this horse. 1, the coat is stunning. It's beautiful. This coat needs to be on more horses. It actually kind of reminds me of my starter horse's coat. I love it. It's stunning. I love if we're talking about textures, I love the brush strokes that they did on the inside here of the hip. It's such a beautiful texture. They did such a good job with it. Unfortunately, it's on the Morgan model, and I don't really like the Morgan model. The other unfortunate thing is I named you after my favorite book, and you're not my favorite horse. So I don't know if I should change this horse's name to something else, and use that name on somebody else. But yeah. And furthermore, this tack set that I put on you, this is my favorite combination that I have ever made for a horse, and it is wasted on you. I'm excessively harsh on this horse, but I love the way the tack combo goes for this one. Maybe it's not everybody's cup of tea. I am a huge fan. What I love to do with my horse tacks and outfits in general is I don't like to use too matchy stuff. I don't like to use the same bridle and saddle pad and boots all in the same set. I like to take bits and pieces of each of them and mix them all together. Even if it's not perfect 100%, the greens are close enough. They're not perfect though. But I don't know, just having that freedom to mix and match just brings me a lot of joy. And because of that, I just loved how this tack set came out in particular, because this is such a unique saddle, and this is also a unique bridle that we don't get to, I don't see a lot of people using it because it's bright blue. I was just so proud with how this one came out, and it's wasted on the Morgan. I should probably just take it off of you, but at this point, it's so ingrained on this horse that I feel like I can't take it away from it. You know what I mean? Anyways, Juniper. I think I actually made a video about Juniper, or at least explained where Juniper came from. So Juniper is an Andalusian. I forgot that you're an Andalusian, to be honest. Juniper was what I called a carousel horse that I really, really liked on a carousel that I really liked. I don't know if the horse actually had a name. More Alexa history here. Growing up, I played a lot of the Nancy Drew games, and by a lot, I mean every single one. And I still play them to this day. I replay them, and when new ones come out, I play them with my family. It's a huge family bonding thing for us to play the Nancy Drew games. The 9th Nancy Drew game was called the Haunted Carousel. And it, 1, takes place in New Jersey, which, if you didn't know, I'm from New Jersey. 2, it's all about freaking carousel horses, and that sparked my love of carousel horses. They have such a colorful history, and they're so it's so cool. It's so cool. If you've never looked up the history of a carousel horse, 1, play that game. It will inspire you. 2, just look it up. They're uniquely carved, and they all have different details depending on who the carver is. They have got signatures basically, and some carousel horses have their names engraved on their bridles. Not all of them though. Especially if you get to the older carousel horses that each horse is hand carved and unique. A lot of them do have names and themes. There's also different kinds of carousels and the difference between carousels and merry-go-rounds and all different things. But there are special carousels that have different animals that aren't just horses. I think I saw a video, maybe it was a reel recently, about a special carousel. It's the only like carousel animal of its kind. I will put a picture in and any additional relevant information that I'm forgetting on the screen, but it's a freaking kangaroo. And like, you know how like usually like the horses that move up and down, that they bob, their feet don't touch the ground so that they can actually be free moving and move you up and down. They're always positioned like they're jumping. The kangaroo, however, its feet touch the ground, so they had a unique mechanism that like adds like hinges inside of its like knees and ankles, so that it physically looks like it's bouncing on the carousel without being restricted. It's so cool. Carousels are awesome, even ones that aren't just horses. But anyways, I digress. I just really think that carousels are so cool. So this horse in particular was based off of a horse from a carousel that I really liked. Every time I went to this carousel, I would try to get on the same horse that I called Juniper, which was a Palomino horse with green accents. And I really wanted to immortalize that horse in the game because I have not been to that theme park for a really, really long time. We used to go camping there, but we haven't gone in a while, and I kind of missed going on the carousel. But anyways, I wanted to immortalize that horse in the game, so I tried as best as I could to match the styling. It had Western tack, it had a Western bridle, and green accents, so I did my best. The Andalusian's not really a Western horse, but this was honestly, I think, the closest I could have gotten at the time. A closer horse now might actually be Desert Rose, my Jorvik Mountain horse, but at the time, you were the closest, and you're perfect, and you're delightful, and I love you. Tootie! This is Windbreak, who I also call Tootie, and yes, I named them after a fart. That's their whole story. I just thought it was really cute. I found out that you can name a horse Windbreak, and it's kind of like break wind, and Tootie was just too cute of a name for a pony to pass up, so Tootie it was, and Tootie it is. Ooh, okay, so Jasper. Jasper is the second Pacifino that I got, and if you don't recognize this coat color, it's because Jasper is a magic horse. This is Calder, I think. One of the magic Pacifinos that I don't think has come back since. They've maybe come back once. I think they've only been available twice total. And I don't particularly like these magic horses. I'm not gonna lie to you. The gemstones just kind of look a little like flat and like painted on, although they do they have some, like, if you look at this one here, you see how it's like pink with this lighting, but if I go down here, these facets actually do change color, so it does have some sort of like texture based off of like, and yeah, even like on the front, like you can see it like going from like purple to blue. Like it has like a unique effect. It's just okay for me, and honestly, the non-magic coat is so much more stunning in my opinion. This is the very first magic horse that I bought exclusively for the non-magic coat, and I will do it again actually on Wednesday. The vampire horse that I am planning on getting, horse number 83, Bixbite, I think is its actual name. I will be getting that horse not for the magic coat, but exclusively for the non-magic coat. This is Mousy. I believe I got this horse when the Pentavians came out, mostly because the Pentavians, I mean, being racehorses I had talked about before, they had a special place in my heart. I did ride around on my Gen 2 Pentavian a lot because I was doing high scores and I was doing a lot of championships. So when they announced that they were doing them for Gen 3, I was really excited because I wanted to get my 2 Gen 2 Pentavians kind of like updated. I did not get either of the coats that I had though, and I'm pretty sure all of the Gen 3 Pentavian coats are kind of like updates of the Gen 2 versions. So there are versions of both Quicksilver and Pixie Dust. I just didn't get either of those, and I may still one day, who knows. Instead, I have Mousy, who is named Mousy because this patch on her butt looks like Mickey Mouse. Okay, so Silver Voice. Silver Voice is the green magic dragon horse, Fermoir. I don't feel like clicking on you and transforming, not gonna lie. And her name is unique because it is reminiscent of my D&D game. So in the game that we were playing at the time, or the campaign we've since finished, there were 5 chromatic dragons. There was a Balagos, or Tiamat's champion. Either way, he was the bad guy. He was the BBEG of the campaign. He is the red dragon. Then when we first encountered him, all but 2 of us died. And then like we had like a whole like second arc of getting stronger to actually take him down. Soon after we like established like the new party, this new character kind of came into town, and like she was like super rich and for some reason was trying to help our group, and we didn't really know why, and we found out later that she was actually the green dragon, just like in human form. Her name was Chandra, and her draconic name translated to Silver Tongue. Can't really name a horse Silver Tongue, so for this green dragon I named her Silver Voice, and her nickname is Chandra. The 3 other dragons, white, black, and blue, also had names and backstories and stuff like that, but only the red and green actually matter in terms of Star Stable. Rain Cloud. I think we're hitting a just like an exclusively magic horse section for a little while. So first we had Chandra, or Silver Voice, so that was Fermoir. This one is Prisma, the like pastel rainbow magic horse. This one's named Rain Cloud because I just thought going between like this like gloomy gray to like the rainbow, I just thought it was really cute. And you just look like a rain cloud to me. I'm sorry, it's true. You're so cute. I love riding this horse around at Pride. After Rain Cloud is Magic Spell. Oh, Magic Spell is not a magic horse. I forgot about that, though. I bought Magic Horse right before 2023's Halloween festival because I was like already in like a like witchy Halloween mood, and I needed a horse right that second. So I got this Mustang. Magic Spell. You're so cute. I love you so much. After Magic Spell is Dark Magic, or Laverna, the American Paint Horse, Magic Horse. Otherwise known, if you didn't know, this is the Miscreant's horse. This horse was kind of like reminiscent, or I think supposed to be inspired by the Miscreant's poster, but there was like some internal miscommunication about like the art direction, so it just kind of happened the way it is. Like for example, I really don't know what this symbol is supposed to be other than like some sort of flower. I don't understand how that's relevant to the Miscreants at all. If somebody knows, please tell me. And then like them also kind of like not entirely, like it's only half of a horse skeleton. Like what happened here? Regardless, I still love you, Dark Magic. Miscreant's horse, you're still so cute. Ooh, haha. After that is Ida, or Wild Witch, which is technically my first Owl House reference. I don't even remember the one that I talked about earlier. Oh, I do remember. Not an Owl House reference. This one, though, is an Owl House reference. I named you Wild Witch because Ida is a Wild Witch. And you just, I mean, I would say that the Vala are probably Wild Witches, too. Oh, I love this horse so much. This is my favorite magic horse of all time. Favorite so that I have this horse tattooed on my body. Flame Flyer is next, and this one is the red magic horse, Aldrocht. The red dragon, I should say. And like I said before, Balagos was the red dragon from our D&D game. His Star Stable name is Flame Flyer because one of his other nicknames was the Flying Flame, because fire, red dragon. So you are Flame Flyer, named after, your nickname is Balagos, but your Star Stable name is Flame Flyer. Now the funny thing about this horse is I accidentally bought this horse twice and named it the same exact thing twice. So I have it on my main account because I bought it when it was on sale. It came back for like a bazaar. There was like a Magic Horse Bazaar in like 2023, November-ish. I think like Black Friday weekend. So I bought this horse because I was like, well, I don't have it yet. Let me get it on my account so that I can have the pair of dragon horses while they're on sale. Completely forgetting that I had bought the horse on my side account and named it Balagos, otherwise known as Flameflyer, and completely forgot that I did that. So yeah, I accidentally bought this exact horse twice. Albeit on different accounts, but still. The next magic horse is Pinefrost. This is Hide Run. So fun fact about Hide Run is, if you didn't know, this is a curly horse. And he doesn't even look like a curly horse. I really, really love this horse. I love their mane. I love their coat. This isn't even the magic coat. This is the magic coat. I love both the magic and non-magic coats of this horse. I use this one interchangeably. I adore this horse. I love it so, so much. I mean, at this point, it's a little bit of an older magic horse, so if you don't have this one yet, it is totally worth picking up. More so than picking up just like a standard curly horse. I don't know what exactly they changed about the model, aside from maybe just like cosmetic stuff, but it doesn't feel like a curly horse. I know the curly horse is not the most beloved horse of the game. In fact, I would say it's probably one of the least beloved of the games. But Hide Run does not feel like a curly horse at all. So if you have a curly horse and like maybe there's just some things that you don't like about it, take a look at Hide Run and see if what you don't like about the curly horse is evident in this horse. Because it does not look or feel like a curly horse to me. But I mean, I don't know. He's just a goat. He's just a little goat. Now, I technically got this next horse December 30th, 2023. However, that was only because I would have bought it on January 1st, but the video that I recorded getting this horse in came out on January 1st, and I needed time to like edit and upload it and stuff like that. So this is Supernova. Supernova is a horse that I think I built with the community. Okay, so what had happened is I had this like kind of like silly thought where I was thinking, with the amount of quests that we get in Star Stable for like new daily races and story quests and just the general updates that we got, would it be possible to buy one horse on January 1st of that year and just use them on Wednesday update day? Would they max out over the course of a year? The answer to that was no, at least for 2024. I did not actually get to finish training Supernova within the year. I mean, technically I did, but not with all new content. I want to say I maybe got to like level 10, which is still like a lot of horse experience. And then at the end of the year, I did a stream just to finish off all of Supernova's trainings. It was a little bit of a training stream. And then we got Supernova all done. But the horse was technically randomized. So I had made like 3 different roll tables. The one for which horse breed it was going to do, and I rolled Dutch Warmblood. The other one was for tack and name theme. Which I think it was like technically space was the winning roll. And then the last thing was a specific tack element or detail, which I rolled bell boots. So we have Supernova, the Dutch Warmblood with some black bell boots were the requirements of the roll. And he kept the same tack all year long. The next horse in my stable is Mossroot. I think your name is Phoebe. Your magic horse name anyway is Phoebe. Pacifino, kind of the same as the others, though you are very pretty. I think I enjoyed training this one the most of the 3 of them. Yeah, that's really all I gotta say about you, except for Mossroot. The name Mossroot actually is an area of Valedale or Hollow Woods. I don't know if I'm gonna actually be able to like oh, actually I literally just found it. There's an area of Hollow Woods called Mossroot Grove, and that is where her name came from. Okay, horse number 40. This is Poppy. Technically, I think another impulse purchase. Every once in a while, I just go by where the Jorvik Frisians are, and I just go and look at them, and every time I find another horse that I'm like, oh, you're pretty, I want you. So yeah, that's where Poppy came from. For some reason, I feel like I keep wanting to put the matching saddle pad on you, but I can't. Yeah. They're not retrofit, which is unfortunate. I keep wanting to put this saddle pad on them, which I know I said I normally wouldn't do, because then the saddle pad, and the boots would all be from the same set, and the only one that would be missing is the bridle. Honestly, I kind of like the way that her tack currently looks. I put this look together for Valentine's Day, so this was the horse that I was riding around on Valentine's Day, I believe. Okay, this is 41. This is Rose Petal. I got this lip designer on sale. It is the only lip designer I have, I think, on this account, and I specifically named them Rose Petal because I knew this tack set was coming out for the Equestrian Festival, and I saw this tack set and I was like, it's going on that lip designer when it goes on sale, and that's it. That's the tack determined the horse and the name. And that's it. That's Rose Petal's story. Now, at this point, we are halfway through. We are in 2024, which is the year that I have the most horses bought. So we've got quite a ways to go. For context, it has been an hour and 49 minutes that I've been recording and talking about my horses. I'm hoping that the actual video you're watching is not that long. But I have at least another 2 hours of recording to go. So let's go through these. The next horse I got is the Gen 2 Halflinger. So I knew that because I liked the Halflingers so much that I probably should get a Gen 2 Halflinger just because they're already my favorite breed of horse. That, like, if eventually the Gen 2 Halflingers were no longer available, I would want one. And since then, they actually are no longer available. They have since been removed from the game. So I am glad that I have at least one Gen 2 Halflinger. I could not justify getting any more, though. So I have the one. And honestly, you're kind of perfect as is. So this is Potato. I named him Potato, and after I named him Potato, I realized, 2 of my 3 Halflingers have food-related names. Let's make that a trend. So soon after, I did get a couple more Halflingers, because that's when the partnership money came in, and my goal was to use that money to get the rest of the Halflingers, and that didn't exactly work out. But anyways, I'm getting a little off topic. This is Potato. After Potato, I got Domino, the Selle Francais. I think this is when the Selle Francais is released. April 24, 2024. I think they came out in March, so like maybe a little after they came out I got Domino. This was the first Selle Francais I got. I feel like, I mean, that tracks. You're beautiful and I love you so much. But I love so many of the Selle Francais coats that I forgot that you're the first one that I got. Domino, everybody. I love this horse. It's also funny because you're no longer the Selle Francais I ride the most. As far as the ones that like released when the breed came out, I don't ride you the most, which is kind of surprising. You're so unique. I feel like not a lot of people have this particular Selle Francais. Alright, now we're actually getting into the Halflingers. So the next Halflinger I got was Honey. I got this Palomino one, without the dapples, I think, but still a Pangaray. And, a little after I got Honey, we got this Honey pet, which was just too perfect. I had to give you the pet. After Honey was Carrot Cake. I was not going to justify, using my actual money for you, because, as much as I love the Halflingers, Anthea and Hemera just did not do them justice, to be honest. Like, yeah, sure, the body model is fine. What is this mane? At the very least, for Hemera, this is a unique mane that they don't use on any other horse. So this is a unique mane for this particular magic horse. I don't understand why they didn't use the default Halflinger mane. They could have made it like a little unique and added the details, but like, honestly, this mane is more beautiful. They could have used these manes, or if you're looking at like the default Halflinger mane, it's beautiful. It's more beautiful and more detailed and textured than the one that they gave us. It moves so nice versus this like Jorvik Warmblood looking mane, like the default Warmblood mane. I hate it so much. It's default with this little drawn on detail. It's not three-dimensional, which it's fine. It's fine that it's drawn on. It's just the worst possible mane they could have given this magic horse when they have a beautiful Halflinger mane and they just didn't use it. And the reason that I don't have Anthea is because Anthea has the same thing minus the detail, so it's even worse. Anyways, this one's Carrot Cake. And then we take a little bit of a break from Halflingers. Okay, remember when I said we were going to come back because I would eventually find my Sailor Moon? That's Moon Guardian. Otherwise known as Usagi. I got the Palomino American Saddlebred when it came out because this was another one that I was like, I needed to wait for the right horse for it to actually like embody the character. And this particular horse, I think, especially with like the excessively long tail, was just very magical girl of this horse. And you were Sailor Moon. You had to be Sailor Moon. I gave this horse Sailor Moon adjacent tack. So like the white, the gold, and the blue was very Sailor Moon. You had red bows at one point to kind of be like Sailor Moon's red bows, but it felt too clashy. It didn't feel like it felt too Americana and not enough Magic Girl. So you're my only Saddlebred. I know a lot of people love the Saddlebred, and maybe if I had given you the shorter tail, I would have liked you a lot better. But I also think that like I picked you because you fit the character, and not necessarily because you were my favorite Saddlebred. And I think that's what got me too. So I don't really ride this horse around as much as I wanted to. Ooh, Elderflower. So Elderflower is a horse that I use in my roleplay a lot. So, I mean, she's literally named after a flavor. There's really no no other explanation. I just like Elderflower. Oh, actually, there's a little bit of background for this horse. So this horse was the app exclusive horse. This was I can't remember if I bought this horse as an app horse or if I just trained it up on the app and then didn't buy it until the app horses became permanent in the game. But I got you before Ginger. Wait, no. Did I skip Ginger? I skipped Ginger. Okay. Ginger, I got at the same day that I got Carrot Cake and Honey, because I think this is when those star coins came out. I got Honey, I got Ginger, and I got Carrot Cake all on the same day. Ginger was an app exclusive horse, so I trained this horse up on the app, and then once it was like once I got the star coins to transfer her, I did. So this horse I did get as an app exclusive horse. I don't really like getting the app exclusive horses, not because I don't like the coats. I think that they are really, really pretty, and I like that they're like somewhat exclusive. I don't like getting them because I don't like that they come to the game already level 10. I am the type of person that I train up all of my horses. I only have one horse that is not trained out of 82 horses. I like to take my time and train my horses. And when they come to the game already level 10, that's like 10 levels that I don't have to train them, and it doesn't feel as worth it for me. I'm paying for a horse that I'm going to play with less, if that makes any sense. Obviously, that's not the case anymore because all of the app exclusive ones are no longer app exclusive. You can now just purchase them in the game. But that is why Ginger was the only one that I bought as an app exclusive horse, specifically from the Star Stable Horses app, and then transfer them into the game. Elderflower, on the other hand, I think I got Elderflower when the app exclusive horses came to the game full term. So I remember getting this horse and not transferring them, specifically because unless I'm remembering this wrong, I think I waited because I didn't want them to come to the game level 10 and then they came to the game at level 0 because they were on sale. So I was able to get this horse starting at level 0, or level 1, which is exactly what I wanted. I wanted to fully train this horse. This was my first Belgian Warmblood, and it was the horse that made me realize how much I love the Belgian Warmblood. It was also the horse that made me realize how much I regretted not getting H&M All-In, because H&M All-In is a Belgian Warmblood. I didn't get a Belgian Warmblood because I didn't think I liked the Belgian Warmblood, because when I saw H&M All-In, I wanted H&M All-In, but I didn't get H&M All-In because I thought the manes all looked stupid. And I regret that being the reason I didn't buy the horse, because now most of my horses have braided manes and tails. I should have just gotten H&M All-In. I'm so upset that I didn't. But anyways, I got Elderflower as my Belgian Warmblood, and I love this breed so much. I want to get more Belgian Warmbloods, and I know I eventually will, but for now I have Elderflower. Oh, that was really long-winded for one horse. The next ones are Rainbow Festival horses. We have Thunderbolt, who is currently not magic horsed. There's a video coming out and you'll see why. Magic Dutch Warmblood. I think at the time that these came out, I remember there being like a lot of like Dutch Warmblood exhaustion, because everything felt like a Dutch Warmblood, which in retrospect, there really weren't that many Dutch Warmbloods. There was just 2 magic horses and just I think a couple of like Equestrian Festival exclusive horses. So there were some Dutch warm bloods, but well, I guess it was 4 horses in a short amount of time. So, and then it was Wind Wisp. Wow, you're also not currently magicked. Stunning. This is Serenus. I don't know which one I preferred over Serenus and Bronte. I think non-magic coat, Bronte. Magic coat. I mean, the colors of Bronte are just so good. Maybe Bronte. I just really like the wings on this horse. I think they're cute. I know that, like, they don't move and anything, but this really is, like, the Cloud Kingdom horse. It just has the textures. It has the vibes. It's so good. I love this horse so much. Strawberry. Why did I name this horse Strawberry? I feel like I named this horse Strawberry because, I mean, it's a red roan. But also because it's a Tennessee Walker, and it's very Red Dead, and Strawberry is a town in Red Dead. But I think that last one was just a total accident. I feel like I accidentally made this a Red Dead horse. I did show with this horse once, with the show name You're a Good Man, Mr. Morgan, though it was a show name that I wanted to save for a different Western horse. I just hadn't found the right one. So I don't know if this horse's show name is permanently, like, roleplay-wise, going to be You're a Good Man, Mr. Morgan. But I mean, your name's already Strawberry. I don't know, you tell me. I don't really do like a whole lot of like Western showing stuff anyway, but every once in a while when I get the itch to like show and there's no English shows around, or they're all hunters and there's like maybe a Western speed, I'll probably do the Western speed, and I'll usually grab Strawberry for it. Buttercup! That's another horse that's like permanently out. Okay, I feel like there's always like around Halloween where like right before Halloween I get like the itch to get like a Halloween-y horse. I mean, this one I got in like August, so I was feeling it a little early. But this is Buttercup, a Self-Francais. I always associate this horse with Halloween, maybe because they're orange, and I did used to put Halloween tack on this horse like almost permanently. The only reason that this horse is currently tacked up is because they are the horse that I was riding before I started the video, and I just haven't untacked them because I'll probably ride them again later. God, you're cute. I love this horse. This is the horse that I think of when, because I forget that I got Domino first. I always think that I got this Self-Francais first, which is just not true. I feel like I rode this one more. I think I originally named this horse Buttercup because it was a flower, and then I realized, oh, Peanut Butter Cup, you're a Halloween horse now. So that's just more association with this horse being a Halloween horse on accident. The next one is Everwind, who is one of the new Frisians. Are you a new Frisian? You look like a new Frisian. I mean, this horse was like a little bit reminiscent of Silver Song, which is named after the Silver Song River. And then Moss Root, which was named after the area of Hollow Woods. I like naming my horses areas of Star Stable, and Everwind is not the last one. Everwind is named after Everwind Fields. I just thought it was a pretty name for like really graceful looking Frisian. I like you. I think you're cute. Don't get me wrong, I still like the Jorvik Frisians. I think the Jorvik Frisians may have a stronger place in my heart, but I think that's only because I've known them longer. I do still really, really like this Frisian. Knightley. Now Knightley, I've got some gripes with, and not particularly with Knightley. To get the name Knightley for this horse, I named it Knight and then LY as a second name. Knightley is now its own name option. So, I mean, you can still name a horse Knight and then LY, but still, I did it before it was an option. I got this horse specifically for the medieval area when that area came out last year. I can't remember, was this horse exclusive for that area? I genuinely could not tell you. I think they are. And I think that's why I got it as kind of like celebration, and you're Knightley because of jousting and knights. But specifically, you are wearing black and gold tack, and your name is Knightley because I couldn't name you Golden Guard, which is another Owl House reference. However, I think you can now. I think Golden Guard currently is an option, and I just didn't want to change it. But this horse's like barn nickname is Hunter, because of the Owl House, for obvious reasons. If you haven't seen the Owl House, by the way, you should watch the Owl House. It is my favorite show of all time. But this is the only other horse since Jelly Bean that has a official show name. Like, yeah, Strawberry had maybe, possibly You're a Good Man, Mr. Morgan, but this one, not that I've ever shown with this horse, but if I did, this one's show name would be the Golden Guard. After Golden Guard is Bubble Tea. You, Bubble Tea. Or Boba, for short. You just look like a little tapioca pearl. You're so cute. And then on October 14th, I started getting some Halloween horses from last year's event that I missed from previous years. I feel like Halloween is the one that I like the horses for the most, and it's still ones that I just don't have all the horses up yet. This one's Melody, because Song Sorrow, Melody just kind of makes sense. I really don't have anything else to say for you. You're perfect. I think I rode this horse around last Halloween the most. So we're gonna give some other horses a chance, right? Right, Melody? You're not gonna be upset with me. Horses that I'm still missing from the Halloween event, Duskgrim. Duskgrim was, between Duskgrim and Song Sorrow, I was going to get Duskgrim first, and then I wound up not getting either of them for what, I think 2 years, and then last year I decided, okay, I'm gonna get Melody, or Song Sorrow, because I really wanted the green coat, because I just think it's pretty, and the water ripples on the belly. Okay, if you didn't notice, so, Song Sorrow is like a Kelpie, who takes their riders on horseback and like drowns them in the water. So water is like part of their story. If you look at her belly, it looks like the reflection of water. If you've never noticed this detail, like, please appreciate it. It looks like water ripples. It's so cool. So of the horses for Halloween that I don't have, I think Duskgrim and Pepita are the only two I don't have aside from the two new ones. And of those, I'm not too particularly interested in Pepita. Sorry, Pepita. I might be interested in Duskgrim. Every time I see somebody riding the non-magic form of Duskgrim at a championship, I just love that horse so much. But there's always like another horse I prioritize over it. I don't know. I think I just need to take a better look. Calliope. I call this one Song Chaser because of carousels. For the carousels, if you have a band organ, the horses are like going around and around and around, and then they meet up at the band organ, so like they're chasing where the song is constantly on a merry-go-round or a carousel. So that's kind of where the name Song Chaser came from. I remember coming up with a couple different names for this horse. Like, I wanted to do something about like a ring, because also on carousels they don't do this so much anymore, but grabbing the ring was a thing that you did on carousels. It's a game that you play while you're on the carousel. Like, if you're on the outer row of a carousel, some carousels have rings that you can reach up and grab. I don't think they do it anymore because it's dangerous, and kids will fall off of the carousel. But it was historically a game that you did play on carousels, was grabbing the ring. And I think it might have a history in equitation, if I'm correct. I don't know. I think that's one of the things that you can do with equitation is you take the pole and you grab the ring, and it's horse history thing for carousels. That I don't 100% know. That's just association of two facts that I don't know if are or are not related. When I got Calliope, I was only going to get Calliope, and then I saw that the robot horse had sound effects, and I was like, okay, cool, well, I need him too. So I got Steam Power, because robots, steam, mechanics, steam power. I also went through a couple of different names for this one, but ultimately landed on Steam Power. I still like the name. I think you're cool. Broken Heart. I know I say that I really loved Domino's coat, and I also like loved Buttercup and like thought I rode Buttercup more than I rode Domino. And I'm also sorry for the other self-Francaise you haven't met yet, but Broken Heart, you're my favorite self-Francaise. I'm sorry to all the other ones. I love this coat so much. So much so that it has, or will, spoiler alert, it will be a part of my storyline coming soon. The video is recorded, I just need to edit it, but this video was more important. I had to get this one out first. So maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed, next Friday, you'll see what I'm talking about. But Broken Heart will not be their canonical name. They will have another name, which I am very excited to share, but you'll find out probably next week. So before I actually decided that part of my storyline, their show name was going to be Prince of Hearts, and this horse was named after a book. I keep wanting to call it a different book name. What is it called? Once Upon a Broken Heart. I keep wanting to call it The Ballad of Broken Hearts, but it's, the second book is Ballad of Never After. That's it. If you haven't, read them. Or Caraval. Caraval is its own standalone series. Read that one first if you want to. It's 3 books and a novella that's like a Christmas story. And then there is Once Upon a Broken Heart and The Ballad of Never After, which is 2-book series. So good. All of them, they are YA fantasy, so definitely suitable for teen and young adult readers. Did I explain that his show name was Prince of Hearts? Well, that was the reference. His show name is Prince of Hearts. Though it isn't anymore, so we'll maybe I'll just update my spreadsheet, it's fine. Moving on to December 2024, I got this Ardennes. This is my first Ardennes. I had ideas for an Ardennes. I knew I wanted an Ardennes. I just could not decide which Ardennes, and I felt like it was a matter of time before Star Stable released either a magic coat or an additional coat for the Ardennes, and I wanted to like hold out hope to see if there was a horse that I liked better for the name in particular, because I knew I wanted to name an Ardennes Ashland. And honestly, I'm really glad I waited for the Caribou, Eric. This horse is so cute. I know that people were kind of like a little iffy about him, because like the antlers are too far back, but all of the other antlered horses are also really far back. I think it's just the anatomy difference between a deer and a horse with the ears, and like their positioning of their head. Like the antlers kind of have to go on the neck versus on the forehead. When you look closer at it, it doesn't seem natural, but when you look at it like from a distance, it looks more natural, at least in my opinion. But either way, I love this horse so much. It's so pretty. Magic, not magic coat. I love the mane that they chose for this one. They did such a beautiful job with this horse. And I think he's really fitting of the name Ashland because of the whole like land of snow. I kind of imagine this horse to be like not nomadic, but like kind of like going on adventures with like an adventurous druid from Valedale, just like kind of like looking for like the secrets of Ashland and like the land beyond the ice wall, stuff like that. Misty. This is a horse that's like constantly out. I love this horse so much. The Norker. I have 2 Norkers. This was the first one that I got. And I really wanted to take a look at this one's tack because I know I put the Dead Serious outfit on you, and I might actually have to buy another one. I was going to like possibly take it off you because this was not a permanent set for you, but honestly it looks so good on you that I don't want to take it off of you. So I'm gonna buy myself a second set at Halloween so I can use it as a dressage set for some of the shows that I'm doing, because I really love this set. It's so good. It's so well done. And also it's like a normal Cavasson bridle, which is like for a lot of showing servers you have to use this type of bridle. You can't use a bridle with a flash or a drop nose band, so I am trying my best to get as many standard Cavasson noseband bridles as I can. This way I have options when it comes to showing. Oh, I didn't really tell you anything about Misty. She's cute. That's pretty much it. And Misty's a name that I wanted to use for a horse for a while, and I just thought that this color was perfect. Oh, this was another horse name that I wanted to use for a while. Acorn! He's just a cute little guy, little Icelandic. I got this one on sale because I never had an Icelandic before. It was like the perfect time to get one because I was always eyeing them. Though weirdly enough, I was always eyeing a different Icelandic. And then by the time like this one was on sale, like this is the one that just caught my eye. And actually this isn't even the only bay horse in a short amount of time that I got. I got another horse that looks almost exactly like him not too long after. The next horse I got was Daisy Chain, the Irish Cob. Now the Irish Cob was a horse that was on my list to get for the longest time. Probably also since I got access to Valedale. I just loved this horse, and I just thought they were so pretty and so beautiful. I got this horse on Bazaar. I want to say it was the Bazaar right before they got retrofit. And they couldn't wear everything, and then later they got retrofit like a couple months later. But unfortunately at that point I had already trained this horse. And I remember having a hard time trying to figure out what this horse should wear because they were not retrofit at the time. And I think because of that, it just kind of like soured my mood about them, that like I just didn't love training her as much as I wanted to, because she couldn't wear the tack that I wanted. I probably should just ride this horse around for a little bit with whatever tack I want now that they are fully retrofit and ported to the new tack system. I just haven't gotten around to it yet because they were so disappointing to ride when I first got them. After Daisy Chain, I got Kima, the white new Magic Frisian. and I kind of still went with the D&D theme for this one. This one is called Pale Moon, after one of my party members had a character whose last name was Pale Moon, and like she had like this like very like pearlescent vibe. So I thought that she kind of fit this horse in particular. After Pale Moon, I got probably the horse I regret buying the most. This is Dawnbreak, a Windfell. Here's the thing. I know I don't like the Gen 2 horses or the older horses, and I know that I particularly don't like the Nixies or the Windfells. They're just not my vibe. I don't have the nostalgia for them. They're just crusty. I can't even look at you because your little bar thing is above your head. I thoroughly hated trading this horse. It was awful the entire time. I hate their movements. I don't like him whatsoever. And it was the only horse that I had to use Jars of Wisdom for. I don't use Jars of Wisdom, and I get them for Trailblazer Track. I don't know how many we've actually gotten since the Trailblazer Track started, but I have 27, which is a lot because I don't use them at all. But I used a bunch of them on Dawnbreak because they were the worst horse that I've ever had to train. And honestly, the attack on them is so old and so terrible, it's not even worth taking off of them. Now onto a horse that I love, this Hanoverian. This is Foxtrot. And Foxtrot, this bridle and saddle belongs exclusively to Foxtrot, so I will not be taking it off of them. However, it just goes so well with their coat. I love it. I love it so much. It goes so well. And because it's so like, not basic, but like such a neutral like color palette, anytime I go to ride this horse, I just grab whatever vibe of saddle pad and boots and any sort of ribbons or decorations that I want for the moment. And it all goes with that bridle and saddle that I love so freaking much. I love this horse. I love this horse a lot. Hanoverian is like top 3 horse breeds in the game. Surprising no one, to be honest. The next one is Baronessa. So Baronessa is an Orker. I call her Baronessa, though I have mostly ridden this horse as Epona or Ocarina of Time for showing. This is one of the FLEC horses. So like Astri, whose show name I don't think I said is La Stella Intuición. This is Ocarina of Time. These are the 2 horses that I mostly ride for the FLEC. As part of like the lessons, because at the time I didn't have a horse that could compete, although things are changing. I'm kind of excited about it. And I've actually done shows with Jelly Bean, if you didn't know. I mostly post those like pictures and stuff like that on like Instagram. So I did I think 2, maybe it was just 1 show. I think I did 1 show with Jelly Bean, but I want to do more with her. I had already had Elderflower when I joined the FLEC, but I did not have Epona. This horse I specifically bought because it was one of the lesson horses. Next are some horses that I bought when they were on sale. The Selle Francais finally went on sale. These next 2 actually go together. So this one is Raven. Nickname is Nevermore. That's what I wanted to actually call this horse. No, I think I talked about it when I actually bought these horses because I did buy it in a Wednesday update video. But if you don't know Edgar Allan Poe, the line is Quoth the Raven Nevermore. So that was the whole vibe with this horse. But additionally, if you also didn't know, if you don't read the Hunger Games books, both Ballad of the Songbirds and Snakes and Songrise on the Reaping had like a sort of poem that like was like the through line of the novel. For Ballad of the Songbird and Snakes, it talked about the Ballad of Lucy Gray, who's kind of like, or at least the way that the poem goes, or the song, or whatever you want to call it, is about a girl who is named Lucy Gray, and she goes missing in like a winter storm, and like nobody knows where she went. It's just like her feet print just disappear one day. So that was like the through line story of Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And then in Sunrise on the Reaping, the through line poem was actually The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe, and it talks all about his lost love Lenore. And the whole thing is like the Raven is sort of like tormenting him because he'll never see Lenore again. Quoth the Raven Nevermore. You get the idea. So because of that, this horse is named Raven, and This horse is named Songbird. So both birds, this is Songbird, otherwise known as Lucy Gray, whose show name is Ballad of the Songbirds and Snakes, and then Raven, who's technically Nevermore. Their show name is Sunrise on the Reaping. Now the last halflinger I got, so my most recent purchase of halfling, wait, hold on, are they not even out here? Oh, here you are. This is Pepper, last food-related halflinger. Again, there's, I think, 2 more that I still need to get. One of them will be named Soda Pop. I had decided that. It was a name that I was going to use for a Gen 2 halflinger that I wound up never using, but it was like a dark liver chestnut color, and it just kind of looks like the color of Soda Pop, so it's just kind of perfect. I just haven't gotten them yet. But this is Pepper. I got this horse because I was showing with the FLEC, and this is one of the ponies that they have available for the lesson students. Shortcake, I think is her name, but I called her Pepper. If you recall, pretty early on, we talked about a club horse that I had with Apple, which was Dragon Soul, and now this one is Dragon Claw. So we decided right before we actually joined Green Forest, we wanted to have like one last like club thing. So we actually like revamped our club horses. We got matching tack for them. We picked, I think we both still have dragon names for these horses. This one is Dragon Claw, but her nickname is actually Talon, and she's a Hanoverian. We picked Hanoverians because we thought that they were like just a class A horse for a club. These were our club horses that are like eternally our like dragon horses for our dragonflies, which we are technically, we still have the club because our side accounts are in it, but it's not an active club. I'm pretty sure the rest of the horses on this list are ones that I would have gotten on video, but we will just do a quick little rundown of who's left. I thought this was the butterfly horse. It wasn't. I was like, oh, I didn't think that the butterfly horse had a braided mane. That's because it doesn't. I think I got this horse on Bazaar. I don't know if I got it on video, but I definitely got it on Bazaar. This was definitely one that I just could not come up with like that great of a name, but I thought like the show name Rises in the East would be really cute. Again, not that I've shown with this horse, it's just the opportunity is there if I want it. So show name was Rises in the East. Actual Star Stable name is Radiant Sunrise. Nickname is Sunny. Okay, now we're actually getting into the butterfly and moth horses. So this is Foxglove. This is the Luna Moth horse. And Marigold, who is the butterfly horse. I've been really not keeping my horses in magic form, have I? But yes, so this is Marigold. Marigold and Foxglove are both named after flowers, which I thought was fitting for a butterfly and a moth. I just thought it was really, really cute. All right, here's the thing. I know I did just say that I was pretty sure that the rest of the horses I got on videos, and I'm realizing that none of these are ones that I got on video. Foxglove and Marigold I was going to get on video, and I wound up just being like upset about the whole AIDJ thing, and I waited I think a couple of days at least until I felt better and like they reversed the whole decision and all the thing. It wasn't really on purpose, I just wasn't in the mood to actually buy those horses, so I didn't get those on video. I also didn't get this horse on video because this was an impulse purchase I do not regret. This is Ponyhawk. He is just such a good horse. I didn't realize that the Dartmoor ponies had like that like pawing on the ground animation that kind of looks like he's kicking a skateboard. I only realized that after I named him Ponyhawk, and the reason I named him Ponyhawk was because of literally a joke. I started playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, the remastered version, and I was so inspired that I needed Ponyhawk in game. So this is Ponyhawk. I think that he fits the name quite well. I thought about doing like a silly little like RP like storyline video with like a skateboarding riding horse, but editing that sounds like a nightmare, so I just did this picture instead. Okay, the next 3 or 4 were definitely purchased in a video. The first one was Gloomy, also known as Eeyore, Firelord, also known as Zuko, Pinecone, no other nickname, and Robin. All 4 of these horses were purchased as part of like challenges or other sort of like special videos. I think I did 2 videos back to back, and I wound up buying 4 horses. So that's all of them, but I think you guys already knew them. The last 3 you might also know. So we have Desert Rose, who is part of my Mustang makeover, if you watch those roleplay videos. She's a Jorvik mountain horse, though for my storyline, she's a Mustang. I do have to start working on the October vlog. I have an idea of what's gonna happen. I just haven't scripted it or done anything with that yet because I need to finish the other roleplay video before I even start on that one. She will have a show name. I know what it is. I'm just not ready to reveal that yet. Then we have Geraldo, who is one of the new Andalusians, who I did get in a video. He does have a show name now because I did do an equitation show with him. I'm not going to butcher my Portuguese.
Cavaleiro Coroado de Leiria.
Basically translates to Crowned Knight of Leiria. And finally, the most recent horse I have purchased is Skywalker, also known as Tatooine, also known as the Akelteke that I did a video on. So those are all of the horses that I currently own in Star Stable. Come the Wednesday update, I'm sure that number is going to grow, at least by one. Let me know what you think of my stable. Is there a horse that you want to see pop up in videos more often? Is there a name that you like the most? Is there a horse you can't believe I spent my star coins on? Let me know in the comments. Thank you again so much for being subscribed and just for helping me reach 22,000 subscribers. Still a crazy, crazy number. I appreciate every single one of you so much. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another video like this. I do try to cover every Wednesday update and more, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!